Welcome to the In the Course Show. I am your host, Mr. B. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We are talking about, again, dating and relationships. And unfortunately, there's some NBA stars who are having some problems with their children's mother. Now, it seems like there's this cycle of men who recycle the same industry women. So this lady's dating a rapper. Next thing you know, she breaks up with him. She starts messing with another guy who's an athlete, and all of a sudden the athlete wifes up the former baby mother of the rapper, and now you have a situation where many months later they find themselves jammed up, and for whatever reason the relationship don't work out, and these men are on social media seeking some sort of sympathy from the social media followers. And unfortunately, Mason Cameron don't think it's a good idea to do that. I mean, as former celebrities themselves, they sort of raise some questions about why men do that. Like, if you're a prominent person, prominent figure, celebrity of any sort, why would you recycle a woman that's already been outside with other celebrities, and B, why would you then go to social media to air them out as if you're going to find sympathy there? That's what we're going to explore in this particular video today. So join us as we play the video and react to it real time. All right.
She changed and living a great life to he mad she outside is crazy. You wouldn't be mad if you've been asking for years for someone to be real on what they want. And they say they want a family and not be in the clubs no more because it's old. Then saying they go into Houston or work and see family, but end up lying and avoiding me while in clubs unannounced. Y'all fans are sick. He said, why wouldn't I be mad? She's sacrificing her son, missing school for being in the club, shaking ass. Our kids having to be stuck in her mama's house when she never communicated being in clubs. At least send the kids with the daddy and not your mama. And this has just been a lengthy back and forth between the two. But of course, it has now gotten to the internet because both of them have been open about that. So what do you think about what DeJounte had to say? And then basically him just saying this on social media.
I think what he's saying has a lot of validity to it. Let me just start there. But I think when it comes to men, you can never expect to get sympathy from the internet. The internet is just not the place to get sympathy from. I learned that. I'm new to the internet, but it's no place to be looking for a friend. It's no place to be looking for consolation, any of those words. If you're looking for compassion, you're just not going to find it in none of your comments. You might find 1 out of 10,000 comments somebody really saying something great, but for the most part, if you're down, they're going to kick you when you're down. It's just the internet for you. And
That's a great point that Mace raised. It is true. For some reason, we have a generation of people who air their grievances with their significant other on the internet. And so what you're doing is you're inviting millions of people to witness a disagreement that you have. And it's just, to me, it's not a good look. So what he's saying is it's not a place that you could find much sympathy, especially if you're a man on the internet.
you have to know that they need somebody to police the internet. It's just like they have police for the street. They need police for the internet. And I think one thing I would say, not to get in this business, but since it's in the public side, you just I remember who said it. You just can't turn them into housewives. It's just what is an old rule. Did you ever hear the first part of that? You can't turn blank into housewives.
Yes.
You know what it says?
Yes.
All right. And I'm not calling her that, but that's just what it comes across as in this point, that she already had a life. You tried to make her something different, but she was already in this life. So therefore, for you to get upset about her doing something that she was doing previously before you, meaning it was bad judgment on your part. It's not bad on her part.
She was a stripper.
I don't think she was a stripper. She's just also young boy's baby mom.
Oh, young boy NBA.
NBA young boy.
Why in the world would you do that?
Right time. You could pick the right time. That
I never. we talk. Like, listen, I think Devontae.
He's a great rapper, but I definitely wouldn't.
No, I'm talking about Murray real quick on my behalf. And NBA, yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about, he has a great story. I'm talking about coming out of Seattle, you know, Jingles, that's Jingles, man. He has a great story. So one day I actually want to interview him and have him on the show about, you know, he, from what I heard, been getting money when he was 15, 16. It's a long story. That ain't the topic.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't disagree on anything what May said. I mean, if I had to take a take, that would be the exact take that I take. But you know how to think about this, right? And just put this in the perspective. Let's say they end up not being together, and you got to talk to NBA because he with your kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On certain weekends, so I don't know, man.
And that's why you gotta you can't take a woman after certain guys because you don't want to have to deal with that person. For you to take her on, you're taking on her, him, his crew, all of that. And I don't think women think about that, like who they get pregnant by. Like it's that is a deal breaker for especially elite guys or any guy that is of any type of value. That's a definite deal breaker.
100% correct. I just don't understand. And it seems like it's a trend. Like, I'm not accusing Murray of this because, like I said, I genuinely don't know him, but you know, because of Jingles, I understood his story, and you know, well, hopefully we're talking. I'm not accusing him what I'm about to say, but I just don't get. And
I don't want to line step, but I know exactly what you said.
I just can't get niggas leftovers. Like, what do you get out of that? Like, yo, because niggas, and I don't mean females, I don't mean the baby mom, I don't mean disrespect you saying leftovers.
How do you promote it?
Yeah,
like, how do you go further than they went with it?
Right. And I just don't understand it, man. Like, cause you know what? Niggas will be like, you know that so-and-so baby mom with, and be happy about it.
And feel like he did something big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And in our day, you would sleep with her, but you wouldn't marry her.
Yeah, not at all. And not only just sleep with her, unless you have beef with that nigga, we're not going to the club together neither, or the dinner. If I'm boning you on the low or boning you because you was with a nigga, cool. But as far as me going out with you, you already been with somebody.
Yeah.
Like
that's a fact. What he's talking about right there is actually accurate, right? It's not a flex when you, like, to what he's saying, when you're dealing with a young lady that's already been passed around, you know what I mean? She's already dealt with a couple different people, and now you wifing it up, you know what I mean? And now she's in the mainstream and she has a reputation as being somebody who is, you know, living that fast life. And now all of a sudden you're trying to make her be something she's not. That's like, you know, trying to make a donkey be a winning racehorse. It's not built for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in a way, these guys are guys who's been around the block and who've seen it one too many times. And when you see the same people in the news for the same exact thing, so-and-so was dealing with so-and-so, now she's not dealing with him, now she's dealing with him, and now he's having the same problem last guy had, now she's dealing with this guy, and he's having the same problem the other guy had. It's a mannerism. Like, a lot of times these girls are dating to advance their careers and advance their spotlight, and they're not dating with the real intention of being a wife or carrying principles that shows you that they're, you know, about promoting their home and representing their family. These are people that just like spotlight. And because they like spotlight, they're not in it for the right reasons. Their motives for being with a person is not there because they genuinely care and want to, you know, build that person up and represent them and be an extension of them. That's not their motives going into it. Their motive is, this is a come up. This is a lick. This is somebody that's going to ensure that, you know, I get some millions of dollars, or I can leverage this relationship and get some publicity off of it. And so now that's the real motive. They're not going in there rooted in some biblical terms, saying, hey, I want to please God, and I'm going to do it by being the best wife I can be to my man. And a lot of times too, some of these women are not really seeing how to be a good wife model to them. They didn't grow up from that. They didn't see their moms or other prominent women in their family have relationships that they stood by and actually did right by. So if they're seeing somebody, if they grew up seeing their mother being an independent woman who dated here and there, they don't really have the foundation on how to be a wife. If they didn't have, the presence of their father or somebody in their life who was saying, well, here's how you treat a woman, and showing this is how they should expect to be treated by a man, they don't know, it's hard for them to know how to keep that good man in their life when they're outside. So they recognize spotlight, glitz, glamour, the guy who's, got some notoriety, the guy who's got some sort of fame around him. And they put more emphasis on that than they put on how do I really settle down to be a good wife for this person. And that's, I think, the point that they're making. They're doing it in their own way. They're speaking in a manner in street code and just kind of talking about like why it doesn't make sense for it to happen. But there's some lessons for young men that can be extracted out of this, is that you have to be mindful about who you choose, who stands next to you. Having a good time is one thing, but when you're talking about picking someone to do the journey of life with, when you're talking about dealing with someone and who ultimately has your best will, your best I'm trying to find the word, your best interest in mind, then you have to pay attention to that person's dating history, to how they conducted their life, to the type of life they live, because that's indicative of who they are today. So then that tells you, okay, there's certain extents and limits that I have, and there's certain expectations I shouldn't put on this person because they don't seem to have the capacity to live up to those expectations, and it'll always result in disappointment and misfortune. So that's what this man is saying here. Let's continue.
I can't do it.
It's a permanent setback. I look at it as a permanent setback.
I just don't get it. Like, I'm not married. I just don't get the niggas talking about, yo, that so-and-so old joint.
And how do you
I don't get it.
How do you expect better is what I don't understand. Like, once you know a person is one way, to me, that's who they are. And if they're going to prove themselves different, let them prove themselves with someone else. I really think I need to start doing counseling for NBA players and athletes, because if you can't see the writing on the wall, it doesn't matter you made all this money. You're giving all your money back to the hood.
That's true. It's true. A lot of young men, they're not really kind of getting it. It's not a flex to deal with the same chick that everybody else was dealing with. That's what they're saying here, right? You dealing with somebody everybody was dealing with. It's the same person, and you're just the new fool, you know what I'm saying, who's dealing with. What he's saying is, don't do that. Don't repeat the same mistakes and expect the different results. That is the very definition of insanity. And for the young ladies, I'm a father. I have children. I have, girls. Don't be the girl. Be mindful of your reputation. Don't be the young lady who's viewed as the chick to be played with, the chick to be passed around, the chick that's, going from this glitzy guy to the next glitzy guy, the next, just chasing spotlight. Because now you have men, the serious ones, who won't respect you because you don't respect yourself by the way that you're presenting yourself. You should not be available and accessible to everybody. You should not be on mainstream media showcasing your lifestyle, just being a caricature. You know what I'm saying? You should present yourself in a manner that is, pleasing to God, that is pleasing to your family. That means that you have some pride in your last name. And so, not everyone are taught these things, but I think the message behind this is, don't let nobody play with you or your reputation. And don't put yourself in a light that you don't want reflected. Think down the line. Would you want your daughters or your family 15, 20 years from now to see or to read about, you being a caricature in the blogs because you was young and dumb and doing whatever? You don't want that. So sometimes you just want to stop and think. Don't let men play with you, and just be mindful that, you know, how you carry yourself, you know what I'm saying, is how you earn your reputation, right? So if you're not fast, nobody could treat you like that. But if you outside and you're being passed around from one person to the next, it's going to put a negative light on you. And again, none of this is coming with shade. I'm talking straight from love, just showing people, like, you know, that you know, you have to respect yourself and respect how you carry yourself. Now, these guys, they're being funny about how they're presenting their information, but I think it's important to sort of add some perspective and to help people see that, you know, you have to be mindful about how you carry yourself.
And my last statement is salute to her and the rest of y'all. Y'all know who the bone. Pause. Y'all picked them out, right? Y'all picked the niggas with the $200 million contracts. You picked the niggas who number one on the charts all time. Yo, you gotta salute them. Man. I'm gonna stop making it about the niggas and start making it about them. And you gotta give them props, bro.
Yeah.
You got to. You
They
can't.
casing niggas better than robbery.
Yeah. The case out is crazy,
It's
yo.
like, yo, you thought about such and such? No, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
he
fact.
just signed for 120.
Yeah, 120. And then not only that, murder.
You like red bones.
Yeah. And then how do you line yourself to be there? Like, nah. So listen, I know where they go after the game.
And just eating at the bar.
Yeah, you just have
Oh, this is my first day here.
Yeah.
Word.
Exactly.
Mine too.
Yeah. And
Oh, man.
then from that to go raw, then not just go raw to not pull out.
And then don't know if it's yours is crazy.
Yeah.
If you're ever in a situation and you don't know if it's yours, you already lost, bro.
Hi, I'm Burke, a small business insurance expert with Byberk.
What's a Byberk?
Byberk isn't a
And I'll say this last, I don't know if you got something to say, but I'll say lastly is to piggyback off of what May said earlier. You better off not saying nothing. The internet is not gonna help, bro. They love when you down. They actually get a kick out of it. And the more they can irk you, the more that they will. Second, that's first. And lastly, when it doesn't matter when you're a guy on the internet, you're gonna lose even if you're 100% right.
Yeah.
You could be 1,000% right. You're gonna lose when it comes to the internet because girls are gonna find a reason to stick together with girls. You could
No matter what the reason is.
no matter what the reason is. You could sit there and a girl could get caught cheating with 3 niggas. They got a nigga. And her friends or the internet be like, well, you don't know what he did to her.
That made her
have to do that. Don't go to internet. You're not going to win when it comes to female and male problems. It's just not going to happen.
That is a fact. It is a fact. This is the whole notion of the sister code, right? It's hard to find a woman out there who's willing to be accountable, and other women who's willing to hold those unaccountable women accountable, right? A lot of times, you know, when a woman does something, she can say, I was young and I was dumb. And to other women, that makes sense, and they expect that to be okay. If you do something, you can't say I was young and I was dumb. You should have known, you were a grown man, you should have done this. But there's a certain sympathy that women show each other and a certain empathy that they show each other that they'll never show you. Even though a lot of them are single mothers who have sons, and they would never want no woman to run game on their sons the way that some of these women run game on you. But even in the midst of that, a lot of times they don't stand up and say, well, she was wrong for what she was doing. It's rare. Not saying it's everybody. There are a few souls out there who do it. But for the most part, most women will follow that sister code to the T. You know what I mean? Like how many times you go online and you turn on the family court judge shows where they finding out after this dude been you know what I'm saying, paying this lady or taking care of this kid for all these years, he come to find out 20 years in, that's not his kid. And then she start crying like somebody did something wrong to her. Like she's the victim in the situation. You go to Maury Povich and some of these shows that you see online, where now all of a sudden they was loose, moving crazy, and next thing you know, the results come back where that's not his kid, and she played victim. And not everybody gotta feel sympathetic because she's crying because she can't figure out who she let hit that fathered her baby. That's crazy. And that's what he's saying right here, is that most women aren't saying to other women, shame on you for representing us in this negative light. Most of them are just kind of tolerating it and making excuses for it, which is essentially the point that he's saying here. And for me, there's two sides, right? Obviously, we don't want our daughters to continue this cycle. So we obviously got to catch it and point them out and to teach our daughters to be accountable and respectable of their minds, their bodies, and their appearance, especially in the public. But also to our young men, we want to make sure we inform them so they can make the distinction between good women and bad women, right? A bad woman is not a woman who's making you look crazy in the public square. You feel what I'm saying? So it's important to pay attention to these distinctions. And this is essentially what these guys are saying. As dudes who are celebrities, have gotten a bunch of women, they know, right? They know the difference between a woman that they're playing with and that should be kept in that category versus a woman that they would wife. And if you're seeing these characteristics out of people and they're moving real reckless, it's very likely that they don't really have the traits for you to wife them up, because you can't teach a old dog new tricks. And that's what he's saying. It's like, yo, this lady has a history of being the same exact way, and you think because you take her out the streets is not still in her. It's tough, but it's the truth, right? It's tough love, but it's the truth. What they're saying has a lot of truth to it. So hear them out.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, definitely prayers up for them, because Murray seems like such a great guy, and for him to even be in a place where he thought to redeem her, I think was great. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, from a humanitarian place. But I'm gonna tell you what my mother used to tell me: she gonna have to learn with somebody else. You're not gonna be the one to bail her out. And most women feel that way.
Fact.
I'll just add, because
hold on. That's true, man. But what about that joint? I ain't gonna say her name, man. Almost had me ready to kill her. Well, God bless your mom and mama. All of that. Murder had a girlfriend one time.
She wasn't my girlfriend, killer. I was in the house.
Huh?
I was in the house.
What you mean?
Go ahead, finish.
You can tell me I'm wrong.
Tell
me I'm wrong. Murder had a girlfriend one time.
Yeah.
He broke up with her, but she stayed cool with his moms and his boyfriend and his family. And we used to come in there, and she would be in there, and I'd be so mad at her and be like, yo. I say, yo. And what I'm about to say is not right, but like, it's mad stairs. It's mad. If you want, just let me know.
Man.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mace broke up with the girl. She said, yeah, all right. I'm cool with the family. And we used to come in the house, and she would be there, and I would be so mad, man. I didn't know what you was alluding to, but I was alluding to that. That should have me pissed off about that. You handled that very well, as possibly as anybody I can know can handle that situation. I was losing my mind, and it wasn't even my girlfriend.
My business is literally running circles around every Fortune 500 customer service team with faster response times and better organization.
You can't redeem everybody. You just can't.
You can't. I'll just add, because the whole situation, just even being public to begin with, it just sucks, I think, for both of them, because I'm like, he has so much upside. He's a really good player, and he's hurt right now. So I know he's probably just going through a lot in general. And then her, I didn't realize how young, at least young to me, how young she is. She's 25. So I'm just like, they both clearly just didn't see.
How old is he?
I think he's like 28, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
29.
what I'm saying is this, like, and I don't mean this towards anybody in my past or anything like that, but just as you learn in life, if the way a thing start is normally how it ends. Yeah. So it's like when a person is troubled or a person has a lot of problems, you can't you can't evade that there'll be troublesome with you or there'll be a problem with you. You can't just wipe that away and think because you have money or you bring them into a better situation. No, now you're just a nigga with money. Now you're just a whatever with money. So I don't think like the money changes that. I think people really need therapy. They really need psychology, all of those things. And that you bringing them to a better environment doesn't change.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But I also think on the other end, for some people, it does work out really well. You just don't expect it to happen to you because there are some people like, and this is not at them. I'm saying that there are some people.
Name 5.
I cannot go
Give
down
me
the list.
3.
I cannot go down the list of 5, but I will use
3.
an example. I'm not gonna go through.
You don't got 3.
I will use an example to me that looks. I mean, granted, this is on the outside, so you don't know if people are going through internally. It looks great, and it worked out for them because, like you guys were saying,
started out crazy.
Some people, I'm not gonna say it started out crazy, but it didn't work out, and they moved on to somebody else, and then it ended up being great for all of them. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, but when you work like Murray has worked to get to this level, it's almost like you're bringing her to another level. Like there's a player that brought her to another level. There's a rapper that brought her to another level. And what I'm seeing in society is like just dating to find the next guy. It's really like the woman is not with you to be with you. She's with you because you're gonna make her visible to this guy, and then this guy makes you visible to this guy, and it keeps taking a person up. And it's almost like you're dating on people's lives, and it's crazy that guys are letting that happen.
So many different angles. Let us know in the comments down below what y'all think, because like I'm saying, sometimes it does work out. A lot of the times it doesn't. It's not a similar situation. That's not what I was thinking. It's not a similar situation, but like, for example, Ari started with G Herbo and now Ari's with Moneybagg Yo, but they are all in unison and have a great co-parenting relationship, and it worked out really well for them. But that does not happen to everybody is what I'm saying.
I wouldn't use that.
I would though, because that's what I'm saying. For some people, it works out really well, and there's no drama, no beef,
because Ari was already kind of lit though. That's different.
So Sierra.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Ari was already lit, so you can't use that. And Ari was already a go-getter. Ari
but it
didn't
also
become
depends
a go-getter.
What you define as being lit, because also on this end, like, it depends. Because like DeJounte's girl also was like, that's why I said it depends. Like she was like on Instagram, a lot of people knew her doing the modeling thing. So I'm like, it really depends on the situation.
To be honest with you, I don't know nothing
Yeah,
about
I don't want to turn this into whatever that young lady name is. I'm just saying, I'm speaking to everybody about the concept, not the person.
But with Stats said,
don't hit me up with that.
Yeah, like I said, no disrespect to none of these ladies at all. Just giving our opinion. But to Stats said, that's another thing, yo. And that's a good point. I don't know her, and I never seen her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But that's another thing, nigga. If because you gotta think, certain basketball players, and we live in a numbers game. Is he verified? How many followers he got? How many Facebook friends he got? How many Instagram followers he got? Da da da. Now, if you're a basketball player and the chick got more followers than you may be open off her.
Yeah.
Yo, you know so and so, she got 8 million followers. And he may only have 900,000 followers. Now he's amazed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I don't know. I'm just saying, I've seen that.
Yeah. Not regarding this situation, but that happens a lot. Like a lot of the times too, especially because that's the thing about numbers. Like all of that to me is fake. Because a lot of girls like will have more because of course a lot of men are lusting and they're getting more followers. And then sometimes, like you said, literally an NBA player might be like, oh shoot, she lit. Like we go see whole time, like two-way player.
Like my man, I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all know him. He said he only go for females with less than 20,000 followers because they probably got low self-esteem. He said if they got more than 20,000, he don't even holler at them. He like his joints with low self-esteem.
That was crazy.
I'm just you can't make it up, man.
And it's that I want to clarify something to you. When you think of, because I wanted to say this, shout out to people like Ari, shout out to people like Keisha,
Sierra too. It wasn't no
shout out to Sierra. But I'm also talking about the Keishas and the Aris. Even though I'm far removed from that, I could see women that actually make the guys they're with better.
Yeah.
So I think it's a total disrespect to the Aries and the Keishas that took guys and made them better than what they are. Not they became better off the guys. Two different type of women.
Yeah, for sure. All I'm gonna say is y'all gotta find the right one for you. Hope they figure
Yeah.
it out, because again, this is just our commentary based off what they've shared from the internet. So let us know y'all's comments and thoughts down below.
All right, so that was that clip. Y'all definitely go check It Is What It Is podcast. It's a great podcast. They probably have that full show. But my perspective in this, in terms of what we're going to say to wrap up this particular session, is that you got to be mindful, man. Like, you got to pay attention. Like I said, now dating and social media is a totally different animal. People are looking at people's likes, and the likes are just validation. A lot of times, some of those likes are bots. You can buy likes, right? So a lot of people are just really kind of boosting their social media presence. And it's true, dudes get geeked, you know, they see a girl, she seemed to be lit, if you will, and she got a lot of likes, and dudes are on there trying to figure out, okay, how do I slide in her DM? And they think it's a flex when they get her, but really she's just the average, you know, shorty on the block, right? And at the end of the day, when that's the case, you know, you can't teach somebody to have those principles. Like, they either have them or they don't. So if you're in a situation where you're starting to see that there's substantial things that's missing from a person, you know, after all that stuff wears off, the chase and all that stuff wears off, and you get it, you know, the foundational things that you need for that relationship to be meaningful is lacking, and almost always goes wrong. And when it goes wrong, these dudes think they're doing something by going online and airing out the girl, and most 9 times out of 10, all the sympathy is going to go to the girl, and you're going to look crazy because they're going to think you knew what she was and you still chose to sign up for that. So at the end of the day, no sympathy for you. So to all the fellas, man, be mindful. Watch who you line up with, watch who you shack up with, watch who you deal with. And to all the ladies, you know, I mean, I guess you gotta make a distinction as to what type of woman you want to be. Some of these girls, they're eating off of this, right? So they go ahead, they line up a dude, they doing research, they know he about to come up on a contract, and they're positioning themselves so that they can bag the dude. And unfortunately, you know, those tactics work for some, but it's not a sustainable one, as eventually these guys end up realizing that there's not much there to build a foundation with. So that's my thoughts here on the Intercourse Show. I thank you guys for joining us, and definitely I encourage you to like and subscribe if you're not already connected. But also I encourage you to leave your comments in the comment section down below, and also to share the video just so your thoughts and your perspective can be heard. Until I hear from you or see you again, I wish y'all the best. Definitely be in my prayers. Keep Christ first. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Later.